Hey, I don't like the name.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
So, the new Halo game just got revealed at the HCS World Championships, and boy, oh boy, do I not think Halo Studios has any idea what to prioritize when making a Halo game. But I want to say at the outset, I might be wrong. And I hope I'm wrong. We've still got more than a year until the official release for this game comes out, and we've only really seen part of one campaign mission, and I desperately want to believe this reveal was given so early in the hopes that they can listen to our feedback and take it into consideration while they're finishing this game. But that said, here are my three major worries. Firstly, and I think this is kind of contrary to what Halo Studios is trying to get us to believe about Halo CE, but the Halo franchise was founded on groundbreaking aesthetics, not graphical fidelity. And I had this worry a little bit after hearing the way they talked about Halo in the reveal for Halo Studios we got last year, the A New Dawn trailer.
The original Halo franchise was a graphics showcase. It was best in class. That's what Halo was when it first was released, and that's what Halo needs to be again.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Which of these pictures is better? Okay, what about these? See, the left shows a generated image probably not unlike what Van Gogh might have seen when he made his original paintings, and then the right image is Van Gogh's actual painting. Now, if someone presented you with an updated version of Van Gogh's collection and showed you these, you'd probably think they missed the point, right? So that's the problem I have with this Unreal 5 Halo aesthetic they have going on in this game. On a technical realism level, yeah, absolutely, the graphics are impressive. Like, it's cool to know that we can do that with computers these days, right? But that's not what makes a good game. It never was. I don't know anybody who has a favorite movie or a favorite game based on their impressive graphics or visual effects. Like, maybe they would mention that a movie or game has impressive visual effects or graphics, but that's not what makes it their favorite game, right? In fact, usually we're able to forgive less than stellar graphics or visual effects in a movie or game if the story and the gameplay are exciting and fun. So to speak to that point a little bit, I actually recently got the Quest 3, the VR headset, and I've been playing a lot of this game called Arizona Sunshine and its sequel Arizona Sunshine 2 with a friend of mine, because it's got this online co-op. And it's got a pretty simple but engaging story and really, really fun gameplay. But the thing is, in this game, as well as like 90% of VR games right now, it has just terrible graphics for 2025. Like, I'd say it's definitely on a par with Combat Evolved from 2001, 25 years ago. But neither of us cared. We played it for hours and hours, and we'll probably play it more because it's just fun to play. And it's still interesting to look at, even though it's not exactly photorealistic, because it's got a good art style. And that's not synonymous with looking like it was taken from a camera. And Combat Evolved's art style was interesting because of the bright and fun colors, mixed with the dingy and faded Forerunner aesthetic. And of course, again, with this new game, we get these practically perfect Forerunner structures with a polished mirror-like shine and lots of dark, faded, realistic earthy tones, instead of getting something that looks like it's been, left alone for thousands and thousands of years. I don't know, it's like, yeah, it looks real, and that's cool, but it doesn't look like Halo to me. Give it some more grunge, give it some more life and absurd colors. I don't know, I'm curious what you guys think about that. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky here. Next, I want to talk about the story and the missions of this game. So again, we can't know for sure, because yes, we only got to see one small part of one mission, but with that one mission we saw, it was pretty much a one-to-one, shot-for-shot remake, the exact same as its 25-year-old counterpart. And the thing that bugs me about it is when I heard they were making a remake this time, as opposed to a remaster like we got with Halo CE Anniversary, my understanding was that the difference between that and what this would be is that this would be a reimagining of what happened before, and not just a new coat of paint laid over the old game, like with CEA. And I know this one has supposedly been rebuilt from the ground up, but it's been rebuilt from the ground up to have the exact same encounters, the same roads, paths, hallways, and plot points as the original, or at least that's the way that it seems. And my thought with that is like, why not just play the original then? It's really accessible and it's still really good. Does it really hurt your eyes that much just to see old graphics? Like, I know their thought is to bring this old franchise into new graphics and a new engine so it can be introduced to a new generation of players, but I just don't think that's necessary. You could just revamp the MCC again, and you could add Halo 5 and Infinite, put a slightly new UI, and then put that on PS5 if you wanted to. I mean, my younger brother, 12 years old, part of the Fortnite generation, still plays Halo CE with me on the original graphics, and he enjoys that better because It's just a good game, and there's no reason to fix something that's not broken. So with that in mind, my hope for this remake was that it would be something more akin to the Halo Reborn project. And if you haven't heard about Halo Reborn, it's my understanding that it's still in development, but there was this gameplay reveal that was released 3 years ago by these fans that are creating the game. And the purpose of the project is to remake the first 3 Halo games as one giant unified game. But instead of just putting all the missions together with the same graphics and HUD and everything, they've decided to reimagine all of the missions entirely from scratch. This means that they would follow the same general story as the originals, but not necessarily every single mission to a T. Like, maybe they would imagine entirely new plot points and entirely new missions that follow that same story. And as long as they kept their priorities in line with the same Halo spirit that illuminated the originals, then this would actually be a very welcome, refreshing, and new thing to experience for once. Like, if Campaign Evolved is being advertised as this new game, but it's just the exact same as what came before, then we're talking about a new game that I could practically play blindfolded. Because with Halo CE, I know every encounter, I know every corner, every crevice, every Easter egg, and I don't know, I guess I was just hoping for an actually new way to experience the story I hold so dear. I mean, call me crazy, and I might get some hate for this in the comments, but I thought it would have been cool if they revamped this game to be more in line with Halo 2 and have half the missions be from the Arbiter's perspective before he was the Arbiter. I mean, you could still preserve certain missions that were important. Like, sure, the game should still start on the Pillar of Autumn and move on to Halo, but you could completely reimagine the layout of the hallways and the corridors and the underground Forerunner tunnels on Halo. You could keep some of the most iconic lines.
Am I right, Marie? Sir, yes, sir. Damn right I am.
And just intertwine them with the new ones that follow those same spiritual fun of the originals and the canon of what came before. And again, talking about the spirit of Halo and the canon that needs to be preserved, in the roundtable discussion for this game, they mentioned how they tried so hard to keep it as close as possible to the original game, and they even had great debates over something as simple as moving a crate here or there.
For every one of those topics that comes up, there's someone who is incredibly passionate on the other side saying we can't, like, that is sacred. We do not move that crate.
Maybe I'm being extremely nitpicky here, but that's not what's sacred in Halo. You want to know what's sacred in Halo? Go watch my last video on what makes a Halo game canon, and check out the things I laid out in that video and all of the comments that the fans put under there. Like, we continually heard the same things. The character of Chief should remain the same spirit, barely talking, quiet badass. Cortana isn't evil or in love with Chief, and the rule of cool should always prevail above practicality, like dual wielding and playable elites, etc., etc.
etc.
The problem is, I don't think Halo Studios trust themselves to follow these rules. Or at least it really seems like they won't take the time and the effort to make something new with what they've got. I mean, this is the second remake of this game by the same studio. And yes, I know they've got these 3 new prequel missions that have to do with Johnson and Chief before the events of the game, which is cool, but my thought is, like, why didn't you just make that game then? We've been asking for a game about Harvest or some other prequel for years now. If you're gonna go that route, then go that route. Don't just make 3 missions and then retread over the same old territory again.
They're the same picture.
Make a whole new game. Okay, my last point is on the note of a whole new game. I just think it is so missing the mark to release a Halo game without multiplayer, forge, firefight, and theater. I mean, heck, every time Bungie implemented a feature like this, it was just expected that this would be a staple of the franchise from then on. But this is now the 3rd time that Halo Studios 343 have launched a game without core Halo features. But this time, it doesn't seem that they have any intention to add them later. I mean, a big part of what made Halo so special was all that it had to offer. It was a party game with so many different possibilities. It wasn't just a cool story, it was also a great co-op and multiplayer and the ability to make content like machinima. Heck, I know people that mainly just play Halo for Forge or just Firefight. And when a new Halo released, because of this, it was an event, because all these different gaming communities could come together under one gaming roof.
You know, my father went to Woodstock. This is our Woodstock of a generation.
But without any of that, and with a name like Campaign Evolved, it just feels like another MCC mod. Which, don't get me wrong, those are cool. And I'm sure this will be cool in its own way. And I'm sure I'll play it and I'll enjoy it. But once again with this developer, Halo Studios or 343 or whatever you want to call them, it just feels like another missed opportunity that we've spent years waiting on and speculating on and dreaming about the possibilities of what they could do with this incredible franchise. And I don't know, I just wish some of us could be in the room with these developers before they decided to go down a certain road so we could bring up all of these points that the fans want. I mean, I hear such great constructive criticism from Hidden Xperia and Labor Larden and Frogarchist and Ackman, and the list just goes on. And it's like, you couldn't have gotten a couple of us in the room to talk about this and take these into account before you threw all this time, money, and resources into it? Feels like we're too late to the party, because they've already been making it for years now. And I don't know, maybe I should apply for a contract consultant for Halo Studios or something. I just remember when Marty O'Donnell was talking to me in our podcast, and he told me that they should just get a group of Bungie OGs as like a legacy consultant team. And my thought was like, this seems so obvious, why hasn't this been done already? Anyway, like I said, despite all of my reservations, and clearly I have a lot of them, I'm actually still very excited and hopeful about this game, mostly because they still have a year to make a lot of changes and corrections, and that's good. My only thought is, they can't make a whole new game in a year, so most of it probably is just going to be a one-to-one copy of Halo CE, which we already have, but I hope I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you more excited or more nervous about this game? And if you're excited, what specifically excites you? What do you wish that they would change? And mostly, do you think my criticisms are fair, or am I just being way too nitpicky? Believe it or not, I still have hope for Halo Studios yet, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes with this one. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. Thank you for finishing this video on the meaning in between. Chief, out.